What's up, guys? James Carter TV here for yet another one of my 2016 NFL Draft recaps, and today we are talking about the Oakland Raiders, a team that is poised, I believe, to make the playoffs in 2016, but they needed another strong draft to solidify that, and I think they did it. Now, I don't think it was on par to what Reggie McKenzie's been doing in years past, but man, I think they really did a good job here. And with that said, let's get into it. Let's start with the 14th pick, Karl Joseph out of West Virginia. Now, everyone's loving Karl Joseph right now. I mean, everyone's saying, oh my God, he's a top 10 talent, top 5 talent. You didn't hear anybody saying this 2 months ago. I don't know where this trade has come from. I think exactly what I thought about him 2 months ago, I think now. And that he's really good. I think he could be a really good, strong safety in the NFL. I project him to be a strong safety. Some people think he could be a free safety. He's going to play strong safety for them now. Reggie Nelson was signed in free agency out of the Cincinnati Bengals to come in to play free safety, single high safety, and I think Karl Joseph will be their strong safety for them, to which I say good. Because you look at Reggie Nelson, he's more of that free safety type, and Karl Joseph is more of that banger, more of that. He's 5'10", so a little small, 209 pounds, but he's strong, he's loud, he's tough. And I think he's going to be a really good, strong safety for the Oakland Raiders for years to come. Now, he may not be Charles Woodson level, because I don't think he has necessarily the ball skills nor the instincts to be of that level. I mean, Karl Joseph does have some pretty nice ball skills, to be honest, but not at the Charles Woodson level. But I think Karl Joseph will come in for this football team and do a really good job solidifying that strong safety position. However, I think he was probably on the 20s of my big board, so it's a little bit of a reach for me. You will get away with it, though, here, because the fact of the matter was, the Oakland Raiders did not have many needs in this draft. I would have taken Darren Lee out of Ohio State. I think everyone's okay with Ben Heaney starting at one of those inside linebacker positions for the Oakland Raiders. I'm not. I think Darren Lee would have came in and would have been better than Karl Joseph, and I think he'll prove that, and I think Darren Lee will prove that, and you'll see that in this 2016 NFL season. But I think Karl Joseph will be a pretty good, strong safety for the Oakland Raiders in the long run, so I give it a B+. We move on to the second round, and this was one of the picks from your draft that I like the least, and that is Jihad Ward out of Illinois. Now, again, this is a guy that's kind of been creeping up the past couple of months. Don't really see why on the tape. Now, he's a versatile guy, a guy that even in your 4-3 defense can move out and play base and strong side defensive end for you. So he has some versatility there. Sitting at about 297 pounds too, which is pretty impressive. But I didn't see enough splash plays, enough big plays from Jihad Ward. He's also pretty inconsistent, a guy that really needs some coaching up. And I thought there were some pro-ready defensive tackles available in A'Shawn Robinson and Jarran Reed that were to be to the taking there. Even Andrew Billings out of Baylor. So I thought there were really a number of defensive tackles that I would have taken over Jihad Ward at this point in the NFL draft. And right before this pick, by the way, Austin Johnson would have been another player that I would have liked to see picked over Jihad Ward. So I think it's a little bit of a reach. I understand the need, though. Dan Williams has one of the defensive tackle spots locked down. The other one is a little bit of concern. You take a defensive tackle here, I agree with that. I'm just not a big Jihad Ward fan, but you feel the need, and he's not that big of a reach, so I give it a B-. Next, we move on to maybe my favorite pick of your draft when it comes to the higher rounds, and that is Shilique Calhoun out of Michigan State. This is a guy that needs to be more consistent. But when we're talking about in the third round, 75th pick overall, the Raiders actually looking at the defensive end position and saying, we need to fill this position. Because everyone's riding the Aldon Smith bandwagon. Oh, he's going to come in, he's going to be great. And he was pretty good for you guys earlier this 2015 season. But I'm not sold on him yet. I think you could use another defensive end on this offense, or defense, to be opposite of Khalil Mack. And they get one here in Shilique Calhoun, who had some really good plays at Michigan State. Was really productive at Michigan State for quite an extended amount of time. And I think he's going to come in and he's going to have a really good impact for the Oakland Raiders for years to come. And I give it an A+. plus even, because I really like Shilique Calhoun even more than Jihad Ward, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shilique Calhoun has a bigger impact than Jihad Ward for years to come. Next, we have Connor Cook out of Michigan State. They go back-to-back Spartans in this 2016 NFL draft, and a lot of people are questioning this pick. Why did they take Connor Cook in the 4th round? And I'm sitting here and I'm saying good. Because remember, this is the team that took Derek Carr, who actually is very similar to Connor Cook. A guy with really good arm strength, had some inaccuracy issues coming out of college, and somehow the Raiders were able to fix him up. And then now you're able to take a Derek Carr 2.0, have him sit behind Derek Carr, knowing that if Derek Carr gets injured, we have another Derek Carr ready to go. Hey, that's not a bad policy. And when you look at the Raiders in 2016, and maybe even years beyond, the only thing that's going to stop this team now is if their quarterback position doesn't work out or if Derek Carr gets injured. But now you have a viable backup quarterback that can come in. Screw Matt McGloin and all that nonsense and Nat Schaub last year. No, now you have a legitimate backup quarterback, presumably, if he can actually fix up his inaccuracy issues and whatnot, that can actually solidify your position behind Derek Carr. And again, this is a Raiders team that doesn't have many needs. So yes, maybe they could have taken a corner. Yes, maybe they could have taken a linebacker. Again, I would have liked to see Darren Lee in the 1st round, but I like the idea of solidifying this quarterback position in the 4th round with Connor Cook, who could be the 4th best quarterback in this draft class. So it's a great value. I like it a lot. I give it an A-. Next, we have DeAndre Washington out of Texas Tech, the pick I like the least in this Oakland Raiders 2016 NFL draft. This is a guy that's 5'8", 204 pounds. So when you're that small, I'm not saying you're done, but boy, you better be good at a number of things. I need to see good vision. I need to see great speed. I need to see, if you don't have great speed, great power. And he doesn't have any of the stuff I just said. Poor speed, okay, not poor speed, but okay speed. Poor vision, definitely poor vision. Not a guy that likes to be patient, wait for holes to come up and then attack the holes and be a patient runner. Can catch some balls out of the backfield, but doesn't have great power at all. He's going to have trouble run blocking or pass blocking in the NFL. Don't like the pick. I don't think he's going to make the roster, to be honest. I give it a C-. Nice idea here, but man, you could have taken an Alex Collins, who was still available here, or some other running backs, because I think DeAndre Washington is not going to make it in the NFL because of the issues I just mentioned. Next, we have Cory James out of Colorado State, a pass rusher. For the most part, I think they'll probably have him play 4-3 outside linebacker, maybe weak side. That way he can get some pass rush in. I question the fit because I really think he was going to be a 3-4 edge rusher in the NFL. I mean, if you want to move him to defensive end, that's fine. But now you're talking about a logjam at defensive end. You just took Shilique Calhoun and Jihad Ward can move outside in the 4-3 and also rush a passer a little bit. So I question the fit. I understand the Raiders have some hybrid looks. So you could see, some 3-4 looks from them. I know, what's his name, head coach, Jack Del Rio is starting to implement some more 3-4 looks. So it makes more sense. I just question the fit. I'm not in love with the player. I give it only a B. And then next, and finally, we have the 7th round pick, Vadal Alexander out of LSU. Cannot believe he fell this far. I'm not really sure why. I have to do some research on that. Maybe there are some issues. He just turned some teams off in the interviews, but there's a really nice talent for the Oakland Raiders. I mean, I'm not sure he'll ever see the field because Gabe Jackson, Kelechi Osemele. I mean, their offensive line is stacked. But he's a nice backup to have. In the 7th round, you take him. It's an A. It's an A for me. Great value. Nice solidifying your offensive line even further. Getting guys behind your starters that can start at a whim's notice. I give it an A for Vadal Alexander. So if you haven't been watching, I've concocted a grading system. I take all these grades, I put it into my computer program that I created, and it spits out a GPA for you. And the Oakland Raiders GPA today is a 3.21 out of 4. That's good. Now, on my scale, that is a good GPA. It's not great. It's worthy of a B+, B to B+ range. I decided to just throw it to the B+. But overall, there are some nice stepping stones here. I don't think it was on par with the 2015 draft for the Raiders, 2014 draft for the Raiders, but I think it was another good draft as it continued to build what continue to looks like is going to be a playoff contender, maybe even a Super Bowl contender in 2016. In 2016 and beyond. I'm already on the Oakland Raiders bandwagon. I mean, there's no need for me to state that even further. But man, another good draft. Not as great as years past, but it's going to be a good draft here for the Oakland Raiders. So until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.